If you are currently skinny fat and you're trying to get shredded for the summer or just in general at all, this is the video for you. And this is coming from someone who used to be skinny fat and is now pretty shredded, I'd say. So I'm gonna show you the shred fast method, which is pretty fucking simple, pretty easy to do. And I'm gonna show you every single step on how you can get shredded this summer as quick as possible. So the first thing that you need to do is to prioritize steakhouses and use the app called Seed Oil Scout when going out to eat food. So basically, Seed Oil Scout is an app where you can avoid restaurants that use seed oils. And seed oils are the most terrible thing in today's society that people eat on a day-to-day basis, which basically causes inflammation, cancer, heart disease, and obesity. So if you've never heard of seed oils before, anything like canola oil, vegetable oil, rice bran oil, etc., any oil except extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. So anything besides those three, any oil is going to be terrible for you. And basically the majority of restaurants cook in this oil and have all their sauces with this oil, and all their toppings have it, or all the bread has it. So this app will show you restaurants near you that do not use seed oils. So basically you can find clean restaurants and not have to worry about eating clean when you're on the go. And steakhouses are a great option because even if they do use oil, they can either put it on the grill without anything, or they can cook in butter if you ask them to. So a good hack that I like to do when I'm out at restaurants is to tell the waiter that you're allergic to oil, any oil whatsoever. Or you could say you're allergic to all oils except extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, if you want to. But even when they cook with those, it's sketchy because when they cook it past its smoke point and it burns, it basically converts into omega-6 fatty acids, just like seed oils do, which is a no-go. So even if you're gonna eat those oils, I would just never cook with them. And I like to cook with only butter, beef tallow, or ghee. So the second step in the shred fast method to get shredded from being skinny fat is to make sure that you are hydrated at all times. And what do I mean by hydrate? I mean a lot more than just drinking water. I mean sticking to water and coconut water only, and black coffee as well. No soda, no teas, no pasteurized dairy, pasteurized milk, raw milk as well. And basically you need to be getting in your electrolytes. That's one of the biggest mistakes that tons of people make when they try to hydrate. They just drink, some tap water. You need to make sure that it's full of electrolytes and that your water is clean. So you want to avoid tap water, Britas, cheap filtered water. You need to make sure it's either spring water or reverse osmosis water. So spring water has minerals, which are electrolytes in it already. That has calcium and sodium and magnesium. So the only other electrolyte that you would need is potassium. So you could eat some oranges or some bananas or some kiwis to get that potassium in and make sure you have all the 4 key electrolytes so that we're hydrated. Because if you don't get in all electrolytes, you will not actually get hydrated. So get those in, and then if you have reverse osmosis water, there's nothing except H2O. So if you just drink that all day, you will not actually be hydrated because you won't have electrolytes. So you need sodium from sea salt, magnesium from a mineral salt like Baja, Gold, or Celtic sea salt, or from an avocado, there's magnesium in there as well. And then potassium from the fruits I said, calcium from either raw milk or red meat that has calcium. So make sure you're staying clean because tap water has estrogen from birth control. Girls or women who take birth control, when they pee, the birth control goes to the wastewater management plant or whatever, and it doesn't filter out the estrogen from the birth control, and you're basically drinking birth control water, which is gonna give you man tits and make you skinny fat, because skinny fat is when your test is literally low and you hold fat where a woman would. So basically fat arms, fat tits, fat love handles, which is not what we want here. So you're basically getting estrogen. Heavy metals mess with your hormones, lower your test, mess with your thyroid. So basically your test is gonna crash, which is gonna make your estrogen high, give you the skinny fat build. Fluoride's a big one that messes with your hormones. It's a big one, especially if you're at the dentist. You never want to get fluoride because, as I said, it's terrible. And microplastics. Also, they saw microplastics kill tests, and they were in literally every man's balls from the study they did. So you need to make sure there's no microplastics in your water as well. And then the third step in the shred fast method is to regulate your dopamine. And by regulating dopamine, I mean making sure that you're not spamming things that activate your dopamine, like TikTok, dopamine. Oh my God, being excited to see more dopamine, like gambling. Gambling is very addictive because it's basically like a potential reward. So it makes your brain think, oh my God, I have to do this. It's kind of like sitting there fishing. Fishing is like potential reward. That's why it's so fun. Gambling's like the same thing. So you want to eliminate things like TikTok, Instagram Reels, which basically just hook you in through that potential reward of finding something good. Like you may see 75% bullshit videos and 25% videos that are actually valuable or good. And if it's all entertaining, you're just wasting it. And the thing is, that's what makes you unmotivated, gives you brain fog, makes you feel shitty. Because I've explained in my other videos, but basically your dopamine's at a baseline level, and for everything that makes you feel good, or every emotion, it will crash below. And when you crash, you feel shitty, unmotivated, and get brain fog. So any emotion, being angry, sad, anxious, depressed, happy, spikes it up. So you don't want to let anything really spike it. So that's why it's good to really not even listen to music all the time unless you're at the gym. But if you're trying to maximize your productivity, save your dopamine for eating ground beef and rice, ground beef and potatoes, steak and potatoes, fruit. Save it for training your ass in the gym or going for a walk outside. If you sit in your office all day, grind out work, and then it's over, you haven't used your dopamine on shit, it'll make the work easier. And then when you go for a walk outside or exercise, it's gonna be like, damn, this shit's so much fun. Like imagine if you're sitting in prison, solitary confinement for 30 days. If they let you out to fucking shovel dirt in the fucking field after, it's gonna be like amazing and the best thing ever compared to sitting in that fucking, solitary confinement. But if you were scrolling on TikTok the whole time, if you have to go shovel dirt, you'd be like, oh, that shit's ass. Like I wish I could just go back in there. So if you kind of just do nothing that's pointless fun, don't waste your dopamine on pointless shit. It'll make the hard things in life actually enjoyable, and will make you 10 times more productive, and will allow you to get more shredded and be more productive. So obviously, spend your dopamine doing zone 2 cardio like walking and training hard in the gym. So the next step in the shred fast method to go from skinny fat to shredded is to avoid endocrine disruptors. I'm going to spell that because I don't feel like going all the way over there. But endocrine disruptors are things that basically lower your test and just destroy your hormones. And I could go into how when your hormones are fucked up, it fucks up everything in your life. But for now, I'm just gonna go over the things that disrupt your hormones. And for this case, you wanna make sure your test is high. I'm a testosterone coach. That's basically the reason why I'm able to be 9% body fat at 202 pounds as a natural lifter, not to glaze myself. But that's because my test is high, and endocrine disruptors lower your test, which will make you skinny fat. And that's when I said earlier, like the estrogen being too high, test being low, makes you hold fat in your tits and your love handles, which makes you literally built like a woman because your test is low. Your test is low. So endocrine disruptors, EMFs like 5G waves or Wi-Fi, or having your laptop on your lap, really shrinking your balls, frying your sperm, having your freaking phone right next to your ear, literally has been shown to cause cancer, can mess with your hormones and the freaking electrons in your system. BPAs, BPSs, PFAs, so things like touching receipts or wiping your ass with fucking toilet paper, the little particles of paper absorb into your bloodstream. And it's kind of like a mix of plastic and paper, which has literally been shown to cause cancer. And cancer will obviously lower your fucking test, which is terrible. And you'll shrink and you'll have to go on meds, you'll die. We don't want that to happen. It also, going back to lowering test will make you skinny fat. Other endocrine disruptors like fragrances and soap. So I had this app, or use this app called Yuka. And a big mistake people make with the Yuka app is that they scan food, and it thinks seed oils, it thinks they're good. So don't use it for food, use it for clean products and healthcare products only, like deodorants, soaps, perfumes. So basically all perfume and all colognes are endocrine disruptors and can basically cause cancer. So you want to stay away from those. So there's this brand called Henry Rose that I copped some cologne with, and it's actually clean. And they also have perfume. So if you have a girl and you don't want them to have their hormones messed up, find a perfume brand that is endocrine disruptor free. Going to soaps like any like Dove or Irish Spring or basic ass things usually have endocrine disruptors, which you're literally rubbing that shit right where your lymph nodes are, I think. thyroid or lymph nodes, and basically those goes around your bloodstream and can fuck up your test badly. You probably heard about aluminum deodorants being bad. It's basically the same type of thing. Like soaps are bad, colognes are bad. Even your dishwasher detergent, if you're getting that on the freaking dishes and you're eating it, toxic, lowering your tests. I could go into all the examples and give you all these things, but I'm not trying to yap for hours because I can yap. And you can just watch all my videos that talk about all these things. But like even laundry detergent, the fragrances, you're smelling it. Even if it's not touching your skin, I sprayed cologne on my clothes. When you inhale that, it disrupts your, it just lowers your test. So even if you don't put it on your skin, it's still bullshit. But those are a lot of main endocrine disruptors that can be messing you up. But soaps, colognes, detergents, EMFs, BPAs, BPSs, like microplastics, all those things will lower your test and make you skinny fat. So you really have to collectively make sure that you are living a clean and healthy lifestyle. And I kind of have guides for all these things in my one-on-one coaching, not to plug myself, but I have pages and pages of documents and guides and PDFs that I've made for my clients, which helps them make sure that they're not getting any of this shit. So there is a link in the description to apply for the one-on-one coaching if you're interested, if you want to really dial in everything. But anywho, the next step in the shred fast method is the Dirty Dozen detox. So basically the Dirty Dozen are the top 12 fruits that have the most amount of pesticides. And if you don't know about pesticides, you could be screwing yourself over, and that could be the main reason why you're skinny fat. So pesticides are on all fruits that are not organic. That's why I'm a big advocate of organic fruits. And the main ones that are in the Dirty Dozen are the dirtiest ones. So like berries, like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. The ones where, like apples, I'm pretty sure, basically the ones where you eat the skin are the Dirty Dozen. So if you get those fruits, you want to make sure they're organic. And because the fields of the organic fields versus the non-organic fields, sometimes the wind will blow the pesticides onto the organic fields. So I like to soak my fruit in a bowl of water with just pour some baking soda, mix around the fruit with your hand, let it sit for 5 minutes, and that gets off like 99% of pesticides. So just do that with baking soda, dump out that water, spray it with clean water, rinse it out again a few times, boom, you should be good. But I would still do it even if you get organic. But the fruits that are like avocados or bananas where you don't eat the skin, it doesn't matter as much if it's organic or not. That's in the Clean 15 it's called. But it doesn't matter as much for those, and basically you can just get non-organic, just peel the skin, eat the inside, and you're usually good with that. But going to explaining how pesticides are really bad, studies showed where there's a vat of all these male frogs in this massive like tub or container. And they covered these frogs in the pesticides that they put on your fruit. And the frogs started having sex with each other, all males, by the way. And no other animals are gay in the wild, by the way. I hate to break it to you. No other animals are gay. They all started fucking each other, and some of them started developing female genitalia, like vaginas, like growing vaginas after a long period of time. And obviously, they were covering them in the pesticides. There was like a shit ton of it. But imagine what's happening to you when you're eating little bits of pesticides every day. I could go into some crazy controversial topics about the gay community, LGBTQ, trans communities with linked to pesticides, but I'm not gonna trigger anyone. But it's pretty fucking crazy stuff, and I didn't know about this until I saw a podcast with RFK Jr. and Joe Rogan. But it's true, there are studies about this. It's not made up, it's actually real. So you do not want to be consuming any pesticides from the Dirty Dozen. And those lower your test, and when you're like most gay people are low test, and that's how you get skinny fat and look like, no muscle mass, skinny fat kind of. So you don't want that whatsoever. And are you eating pesticides on a day-to-day basis? Like even on grains, like pesticides are on a lot of things. So you kind of have to be really careful and think about, okay, are there chemicals on the food I'm eating? If I'm eating some non-organic bread or cereal, there's pesticides in cereal. So you have to be really careful with avoiding, not only Dirty Dozen, but just pesticides in general. But if you're eating pesticides a lot, that could be a main reason why you're skinny fat. So if you cut that out, it will definitely help your gains, because when your test goes up, you grow more muscle, you get more shredded. If you don't know what testosterone does, basically that's what it does. Like pro bodybuilders inject it so that they gain muscle and get shredded. And they eat tons of food and they're still shredded. So that's why I'm kind of, even in a bulk, and I still have abs, still pretty lean. So that's kind of the goal here. And the next step of the shred fast method is to filter everything from blue light blockers to EMF blockers, to water filters, to air filters. So for air filters, get an air filter and put it in every room of your house so you're not inhaling toxic perfumes, toxic chemicals, toxic dust, bacteria. You're not gonna get sick. When you're sick, you lose muscle mass, you sit on the couch, your test crashes, you become fatter and skinnier, and skinny fatter. And you wanna filter out water because it kind of goes back with the hydration, but filtering out microplastics, heavy metals, estrogens, get a reverse osmosis water filter. That's what I use, and I use electrolytes, and I told you about all the other hydration hacks. EMF blockers, there's little things you can put on your phones that actually absorb the EMF, so you could have it on your phone and even put your phone to your ear and you won't get the brain cancer. Put it on your computer, won't fry your balls below your test. And then the blue light blockers, you want to filter out blue light at night. So when your sleep's shitty, your gains are shitty, your test is shitty, which will make you skinny fat. So making sure that your sleep is optimal will really help you get shredded and lose that fat. So blue light before bed, so blue light from your phone or your laptop, keeps you up at night, ruins your REM sleep. And when you have less REM sleep, you get less rested, your muscles get less recovered, you don't grow as much. So we want to make sure your sleep's as great as possible. So when you get blue light from your phone, it basically tricks your brain into thinking that it's daytime, and then you stay up late, really late at night, and you're up and your sleep shitty. So blue light glasses, those like red or orange ones, you can't even see the color blue light. There's bullshit clear ones that don't fucking work, but if you get the ones that actually filter out, they'll say 99 or 100% of blue light, but be like orange or red. You wear those, I can look at my screen for hours before bed. Basically, as soon as I put the screen down, it's black, it's not like blue, because sometimes when I have my phone, it's like blue and green when I close my eyes in my like vision. But when it's red or the real blue light glasses are on, I don't see shit. I can lay down, fall right asleep, 5 minutes, REM sleep's perfectly good. So that's what you want to filter out. There's other things you could filter. Nose breathing filters out dust and bacteria in the air, so it's kind of the same thing as the air filter, but yeah, you want to make sure everything's filtered. You're not getting in any extra or unwanted pollutants into your system that could be fucking up your hormones and your health. And the next step in the shred fast method is to be all natural. So this is a broad topic, but going from, polyester clothes to cotton clothes, organic fruits from non-organic fruits, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, everything all natural overall to make sure that your hormones are optimized for the best. Avoiding synthetic red food dyes. You just want a natural dye. And going back to polyester clothes, I could yap around the world about being all natural, but I'll talk about polyester clothes. So these are polyester shorts, which are bad, but I've cotton underwear underneath, so this isn't really even touching my skin at all. You don't want anything polyester touching your skin at all, because polyester absorbs in your bloodstream, has been shown to cause cancer all over your chest, especially when you wear tight polyester underwear. It absorbs into your balls and makes your balls shrink and lowers your sperm count. And your balls are basically where you produce all your testosterone, your sperm. And that's, if your balls are bigger, their study shows the bigger your balls, the more test you have, the more jacked you are. So you want your balls to be big, more test, put cotton on there. Don't put any nylon, spandex, or polyester in there. Also, another rule of thumb for being all natural is to make sure that everything you put on your skin is something that you would eat. So I don't use any lotion, any bullshit lotion, because I wouldn't eat it. So I put on only tallow or honey lotions because I would eat that, and it's all healthy and all natural, because you absorb everything through your skin. So you want to be careful too, like with shower filters, if there's chlorine in the water, so making sure there's no heavy metals or bullshit chlorine or rust going on your skin will be a game changer for your energy and your hormones. The next step is to make sure you get sunlight and steps. So vitamin D is one of the most important things when it comes to getting your testosterone up. So getting 30 minutes to an hour under the sun, shirtless, in UV 5 to 10 will get you enough vitamin D for the day. And I could go over all the functions of vitamin D, but I'm kind of burning out, so I've been yapping for a long ass time. So if you want to get your test up and get shredded and get your hormones right and energy right, get vitamin D. So if you can't get sun, if you're at work, take 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every single day. And for steps that will get you shredded, that's the only cardio I have any of my clients do, or myself as well. Make sure your heart rate is in zone 2 cardio. Remember that, zone 2, look that up after the end of the video if you want to get shredded. 10K steps a day minimum. If you get 20, you will get shredded fast as fuck. And yeah, I could explain all the benefits of doing this, but 20,000 IUs of vitamin D or an hour trails in the sun, plus 10 to 20K steps of zone 2 cardio, basically fast-paced walking or incline treadmill. Boom. And I was gonna go check my laptop for the last thing, but I'm just gonna say it because I know the last step of the shred fast method is to get your testosterone up. And the way to do that is to do all these other fucking things. Train hard at the gym, eat perfectly clean, get your vitamins and minerals, micronutrients in every day from bioavailable whole food sources. Avoid poisons, avoid estrogens, heavy metals, microplastics, BPAs, endocrine disruptors. All these things, being active, eating protein, being competitive, have a purpose, have a drive. And it all comes down to training, lifestyle, and diet. And, if you feel like you want to get high test, you want to get shredded, and you're not exactly sure what to do, even if you apply these things and you're not seeing the gains you want, and you want me to actually try to help you lay out a set plan to get you shredded, get you out of that skinny fat zone, book a call with me in the link in the description of this video, and we'll come up with a plan to get your training dialed in, your lifestyle dialed in, your diet dialed in. And we'll talk about everything from morning to night about your daily routine and make sure you're totally locked in. And I guarantee we'll get your test up, we'll get you shredded, we'll get you jacked. I can change your life guaranteed if you're willing to put in the work. I can be the best coach in the world, give you the perfect meal plan, perfect training plan, but you're the fucking one who has to put in the reps. You have to cook your meals, you have to train. And if you feel like you need guidance as well as accountability, I'm here for you, bro. So feel free to book a call in the link in the description of this video to see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one coaching. And bro, I'd love to help you get right. I would love to help you get shredded, but you just have to reach out to me. And if not, at least take something in this video and try your best, bro. But thanks for watching, and comment below what you want me to make a video on. But yeah, I'll see you next time.